Welcome to another episode of Comma Convos podcast. I am your host, Dricka Carter of Comma Convos podcast, where we interview every single Wednesday artists, CEOs, and entrepreneurs on their journey to success, whether they've struggled, whether they've figured it out on the way, but we are here to help you. Today, I have a special guest co-host. It is Darius Lester. He is the owner of Mammoth Money Mindset. So y'all be sure to check him out. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Darius.
Hello. Thank you for having me. My name is Darius Lester. As she said, I'm the owner of Mammoth Money Mindset. It's primarily a financial coaching business. We try to focus on military members, both active duty and veterans. We try to work with them, fix their debt, fix their credit, fix their money mindset. And we try to grow them to where they can have more options on what they want to do after they get out of the military. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I enjoy it. I'm active duty myself, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for your service. How long you been active duty?
I have been in for 12 years.
Oh, nice. So did you go in like straight after school?
Yeah. So honestly, I was planning on going to college, but I had a girlfriend at the time, and she was smarter than me. And so I was like, all right, you go to college, I'm gonna go join the military so that I can take care of both of us. I was trying to be on my man mode. And if you aren't aware, sometimes it takes a while between when you actually sign up before they actually ship you out to go to basic training for the military. So during those, 6 months or so, we actually ended up breaking up. I was like, well, there goes that, but I'm already signed up for this. So, I still went ahead and left. But honestly, probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. I met lots of great people all throughout the military. I got to see a lot of places I probably never would have seen in my life.
Right.
And honestly, I think all of those relationships and trips are what brought me to being the person I am today, that wants to help people with their finances.
Yeah, so my story is I actually went to college. I'm a first generation college grad, so that was awesome for me. What challenges I had in college was I had a baby, so I had to kind of like figure life out of being an adult, being a new parent, being a single parent. So yeah, of course, financial challenges came with that. Before that was like prior to me becoming an entrepreneur, like. In high school, I kind of did hair on the side, but I didn't take it serious for it to be a career, And so I never thought about being in the military. My brother-in-law is in the military. He's actually a pilot.
Okay.
So yeah, that's cool.
Very cool.
Can you share a little bit about your background and what inspired you to focus on like financial literacy specific for military members?
Sure. So I joined the military probably like a year after high school. So maybe when I was around 19. I've always been decent with money. When I got to my first location with the military, I noticed everybody around me, we try to go out and many of them would say, ooh, I can't do that. I ain't got nothing left in my account. To me, not having anything left in my account means, I'm at $500, $300. And it's like, I don't want to go below that. So I tell people I don't have anything left in my account. To many other people, I don't have anything left in my account literally means I don't have, I literally got 3 pennies in my entire bank account, checking and savings added together. And I was just like, oh, y'all are different. So I have pretty much for majority of my life been a pretty good saver. And then just as I met people along the way, I started learning a little bit about credit. Then some guy stopped me from buying a car and he told me to buy a house. And I wasn't really with it at the time, which I feel like most people aren't. But eventually, I listened to that advice and I went ahead and got one. And then same thing. Some of my friends were talking about stocks. I didn't know what a stock was. I ended up following that. And just the more I did it, the more I started to enjoy money and business. I love the art of it, how people go about it, all different types of ways to become successful or to make money. So honestly, based off of that, I just started watching and reading tons of stuff about money and entrepreneurship. And I caught the bug and I just really loved it. So then I started wanting to share that information I was learning with other people. And after doing it so many times, people were like, man, this is really good. You should charge for this. And I was like, a year later, I was like, let me try to charge for this.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's pretty much how I got started on it. But if I want to talk a little more, after doing some kind of like self-reflection and
Mm-hmm.
maybe going back, I thought the reason that I was good with money was because I saw my stepfather not be the best with money.
Mm-hmm.
He would spend money on things that you shouldn't spend money on, or be willing to use credit on it or go into debt just to have like fancy, shiny things,
Mm-hmm.
for his friends to be impressed by.
Yeah.
And I noticed that, and I noticed how my mom didn't like that. So I thought that was the reason I decided to be the opposite of that and be good with money. But even more so, what I noticed was a lot of my mother's siblings used to go to her and ask her for money all the time.
Mm-hmm.
She's the youngest in her family. Like she's like the youngest of like 6 or 8 or something like that, right? Big
Wow.
family.
So are you the
And
only child?
no, I'm the
Okay.
oldest of 3.
Okay.
Hmm. But I saw how my mom didn't like that, right? People always coming to her for money and never paying her back. So I think a big factor was I never wanted to feel like I was a burden on my mom. So
Right.
after I left the house, I was like, I need to do whatever I need to do. I don't ever want to have to ask my mom for a penny. And I was able to do that just by not overspending, saving stuff, and kind
Mm-hmm.
of working my own stuff out.
Similar story. My dad is the money responsible person, right? So it's
Hmm.
like all of his siblings go to him for advice, money, business advice, all of those things. So I saw his entrepreneurial spirit as
Hmm.
like, this is what I want to do. I want to invest in houses. I want to sell this. I want to have a career and side hustles and all of that. I never thought that I would be like a full-time entrepreneur. I thought that
Hmm.
I would have like a 9 to 5 career and have a little business on the side because, of course, as entrepreneurs, that's what we do, right? That's what we're taught. Or we may not have had the best influence of entrepreneurs around us as far as like being full-time and being successful at it. We see people
Hmm.
being full-time entrepreneurs, but they aren't the picture of success that we're looking for. Like meaning,
Right.
like you said, shiny object syndrome, buying things to impress other people, not buying
Hmm.
things, that instant gratification of
Yeah.
just getting something to say. I got the newest BMW, I got the latest Lamborghini, I got whatever it is, a Rolex or whatever the case
Hmm.
may be, right? Which is cool if you can afford it. Like, but if you are like going into debt to afford something, it's not worth it. Like, will it matter in 5 years? Will it matter in 10 years? Will it depreciate or will it appreciate? Like, those things really matter. And I think if we learned that earlier on, like in college, it would be very helpful, whether you're a civilian or a military person.
Right.
So I even tell my kid, like, when you go off to college, I don't want you at college or away at college struggling, feeling
Hmm.
like I don't know what to do. First of all, you live in a house with a money goal. Like you should
Right.
know how to make money. You should know how to
Hmm.
save money. You know all about credit. She's been able to like help me in my tax business since she was 11 years old and she's
Right.
17 now. And then my other daughter is just made 12 and she's like, I'm
Hmm.
ready to learn taxes because she saw her sister learn at that age. You know what I
Sure.
mean? So it's like a passed down thing. Like, okay, my parents always talk about building generational wealth, and we've been around with our business for 13 years. Like, as an
Hmm.
entrepreneur, that's huge to have a business that's been around for 13 years. It's like I'm almost at 20. So it's like, dang, I really been doing something for almost 20 years. I haven't worked any jobs for over 5 to 10 years. You know what I
Right.
mean? So like that's really dope to me. And being able to be here for my kids, bring them to school, pick them up, show up to extracurriculars, show them about money, the things that I didn't know. Or like you said, you saw it, but you didn't
Hmm.
really pay attention to it until later in life. And you thought that, oh, this is what triggered me to say I'm not being like that person. Because you do learn from people, whether they believe
Right.
it or not, or whether they teach it to you or not, you pay attention
Hmm.
to characteristics, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
behaviors and responsibility. People, what you see, people think that they're responsible for. And I always tell people, adults teach kids how to be adults. If you're
Mhm.
always driving around with road rage, when it's time for your teenager to drive, they're gonna have road rage. If you
That's a
texting
fact.
and driving, they're gonna be tempted to text and drive. Mom always does it. Dad always does it. Is no reason why I can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you can tell them all day, but you can tell them, oh, don't get into debt, don't use credit cards, or you can tell them use credit cards responsibly, save your money. But if they don't see you doing it and they see you living
Right.
check to check and always issuing out money and then always complaining about somebody borrowing money from you, you know what I mean? So you got to really like set your boundaries early and instill what you want your kids to see, even though they're gonna grow up and be their own person, you know what I mean? But
No, I agree. So how many kids you have?
2 daughters.
2. Okay.
Hmm.
What are the ages?
17 and 12.
Okay, nice. I got married this year.
Oh,
Um,
congratulations.
thank you. So I have a 14-year-old now,
Hmm.
from a gift from my wife.
Okay.
And then she's actually pregnant now with another gift. So
Yes,
I'll have a
congratulations.
thank you. I have a daughter in January.
Okay. Oh, she's almost
Hmm.
done.
Yep.
So how is that
Yes, sir.
like being for you having to actually experience her going through the pregnancy, all of those things?
It is it is a process. For any what I'm learning is this stuff has always been there, but I just wasn't privy to it because I was not a father. I had
Right.
not impregnated anyone, but like now that I'm going through it, some of the like even some of the people I work with that are fathers, they're just like, "Yep, welcome." Mm-hmm.
Welcome
I'll
to the
be
real
like,
world.
"Yep," and I'm like, "Man, this," and she just started yelling at me for no reason, and she was blaming me for the pregnancy and this, and they're like, "Mm-hmm, yep, welcome, good, yes." And the one
Well,
guy
I'm
was like,
not
"Yep,
gonna
I
scare
have
you.
4."
I'm not gonna scare you anymore. Like, just wait till you get to the delivery room.
Okay. Yep. It's fine. I enjoy learning, I enjoy getting better at new things. So that's kind of what I'm honestly, that's kind of what I take the relationship as. That's what I'm taking this whole fathership role. It's like, okay, these are things that I haven't, had practice with before. So I'm just kind of learning as I go. I'm
Hmm.
open to all kinds of stuff. I'm open to, what my wife tells me. I'm open to, people who've been together for, 10, 20 years, whatever their little
Hmm.
nuggets they want to throw out. So I just try to be real open to all the information and then try to use it best to, fit my relationship.
Right, absolutely. And like you said, you kind of grew up in a blended family. I heard you mention your stepdad. So now
Hmm.
you have the opportunity to whatever your stepdad did or didn't do, to the best of your liking, you can
Hmm.
change that in your stepchild's role. So I mean, bonus, we call it bonus over here because we have a
Right.
blended
Yeah. Yeah.
family as
That's what I was
well.
supposed to say.
A
Bonus.
lot of people
Right.
don't say step kids. I don't know. I guess it's taboo, but I mean,
Hmm.
whatever you want to call it, if it works for your family. Same thing for marriage. I've been
Hmm.
married 9 years. Next month will be
Hey,
10.
congrats.
On
Congrats.
December 13th it'll be
Hmm.
10 years that we've been married. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's all up to what you make it. I mean, things that y'all don't like, y'all communicate with each other
Right.
about. I would say that versus calling your mom, her calling her mom, whatever the case may be.
Right.
Because I mean, it's things that you do in your 20s that you're just not gonna do in your 30s, or it's things
Hmm.
that you might do in your 30s that you never expressed,
Right.
was something that was challenging for you, or you may have never expressed, something that you don't like about your spouse, or, things like that.
Hmm.
Because keep in mind, you're blending households. Like you were
Right.
raised one way, she was raised one way.
All of
She might
that.
have been brought up in one side of the world, and you were brought up
Hmm.
on another side of the world. And again, you've been a single man for XYZ
Right.
amount of years, and going into relationships and marriage is a whole nother thing. And then combining money, combining
Hmm.
mindsets, combining
Right.
families, it's a whole lot of turmoil that can come from it, but it's also a lot of triumph that can come from it as well.
No, I agree. I am, like I said, I'm enjoying the process, but yep, I've been single. I've been chilling. I've been building up my own stuff.
Hmm.
It's real easy to budget when you're single.
Hmm.
If I'm like, ooh, I don't like where I'm at right now. I want my savings to get up to whatever level. I'm like, cool. I'm gonna just stop eating,
Hmm.
or I'm gonna make sure I only spend, $6 a day or something if I'm trying to grind to a certain goal.
Right. And you could work more
Yeah.
hours. You ain't got to
Yep.
worry
Yep.
about
That.
nobody
Yeah.
saying,
Oh, I used
but
to.
what
I
about date
stay late.
night?
Yep.
But
I
what
stay late
about
all the time. It's cool. I ain't worried about it. I ain't got nothing to do. all that has changed. I can't
Yes,
just tell my wife and my son, "Hey, we ain't eating this week." That's not a thing.
it's not a thing.
I can as much as I love to work, outside, doing my business, and I've been dipping my toe into real estate and all kinds of stuff, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
I gotta cut some of that sometimes because I got a wife and she's pregnant. So,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go massage her because she be hurting and
Right.
I gotta go get yelled at sometimes, just cause, she needs somewhere to release all the emotions from being pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And, hey, I'm here for that too.
I love
So
that. I love that for you.
yeah, it's cool. I would say it's all learning. I definitely did not. I wouldn't have said that a couple months ago while I was experiencing the stuff. I'm like, this is she crazy. This is that. It's a lot, but I
Mm-hmm.
am. I'm learning. I'm growing. Hopefully, becoming better every day. Um, but you mentioned like blending finances. So
Mm-hmm.
you've been married for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
How do you and your spouse go about money?
So for one, my spouse pays all of the bills.
Hmm.
I take care of my office stuff and I take care of staff, and then we budget together. So like beginning of the month or end of the month, whatever comes first, every day is not the same. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, we perfectly on the first of
Right.
every month,
Sure.
sit
Sure.
down and go over budget. No, we don't. So we both bring in significant amount of income, and we pool our resources together. I'm not opposed to him having separate accounts, just like I have separate accounts, but we do
Hmm.
have like our bill account is together.
Right.
We both insert money into these accounts. So therefore, like if he's paying all the bills, he's putting the money in the account for the bills, I can take care of it. And I know
Hmm.
that it's done. Or for example, like credit cards right now, real life credit card debt. So we're like, okay, what's the plan to knock out this credit card debt? Because we literally just went through a situation where he was unable to work for like 10 months. He got
Hmm.
into an accident, totaled the car. Somebody hit him. They totaled the car. Had to go to like rehab, like
Mm.
relearn how to walk. Had to get back
Dang.
surgery, all of those things, and then couldn't work. So of course, I naturally had to be the wife and step in. But that was a challenge for me because I'm like, I'm over here myself, girl, error. Like,
Hmm.
what you mean pay the bills? Like, how
Right.
long is gonna
Right.
be? But again, that's a part of for better and for worse. That's for
Hmm.
richer and for poor. But it kind of put us in a tight spot financially, because we have a lot going on. We got a logistics company. By you not being able to work, you're not able to drive, or we had to put somebody else in that place. So now we are responsible for someone else's salary.
Right.
So that was like, one of the challenging things I would say out of the 10 years we've been married. Other
Mm.
than that, like we are on the same page, like family first. If something is going on with our parents or our siblings, we are willing to help if we need to. Um, so like those are the things we talked about early on, like putting
Hmm.
our kids in private schools, extracurricular activities, like what's too much for extracurricular activities, what's
Sure.
things of that nature, because it matters. Like if you feel like, oh, my daughter is going to this $500 a month dance school, and
Right.
then if that happens, can I physically still afford to put her in this $500 a month dance
Hmm.
school by myself if something happens to your income,
Right.
right? Because I significantly rely on you to take care of that, and I could take care of buying groceries and lollygagging or whatever. Y'all want to eat
Hmm.
fast food, y'all want to order DoorDash, y'all want to, I can take care of the little knick-knack things. And I think a lot of times females, this new generation, Instagram generation is like,
Hmm.
oh no, that's still like going 50-50, or it's not really going 50-50. Like somebody has to be responsible for something. And I'm not
Sure.
opposed to women being a breadwinner, because a lot of times we are.
Hmm.
But what can he take care of or take off your plate? Is he the person that's bringing the kids to school, bringing
Hmm.
them to extracurricular activities? You know what I'm saying? Showing up
Right.
at parent teacher conferences. Like if the roles are reversed, can you handle it? You know what I'm saying? Can you handle your wife taking care of everything when you, in your mind, like you said earlier, mentally, I needed to be the provider. I
Mm-hmm.
was already stepping into my manhood. Like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
men can't handle a woman making more income than them. So you got to think about those things and just really have those discussions early on before it happens. Try to be proactive. So yeah, sitting down, like really going over what's your credit card debt, what type
Mm-hmm.
of income we bringing in, is the income fluctuating or is it, the same every
Right.
single month? Because that matters as well, because you can have a good month in business and think that you're booming,
Right.
or you can have a bonus check at work and feel like, oh, I got money, let's go splurge or let's go on a
Mm-hmm.
trip, and you kind of miscalculate that income. And I feel like a lot of times, especially in the past few years, like in COVID, all of the numbers were inflated and everybody
Right.
felt like I had all this influx of money coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And then fast forward to reality, they don't have that amount of money coming in. Their business is not flourishing or thriving the way that they thought. And so
Right.
now it's like, I need to start over and rebrand. And that's not always the case. You need to sit down and budget, or you need to sit down and plan. Can you afford to still have all of these people on payroll? Can you afford to still have this office space that you're not using? Can you afford,
Right.
like, you have to really sit down and budget. Can you afford this car note plus the insurance plus the maintenance plus the gas
Mm-hmm.
every day? Like, what makes sense, right? In COVID, everybody didn't really need a car,
Right.
right? Even in, like, right now, somebody just mentioned, man, am I the only one still shopping in the stores? And I was like, probably, because I
Yeah.
order everything online. Like, I will sit down and wait until I get at least minimum $35 order on Walmart so I could use my Walmart Plus and get my orders delivered the same day. So
Sure.
like the convenience, can you afford the convenience, or do you have to get up and physically go to the store? Do you have to get up and, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think about those things financially and physically. But yeah, to answer your question, we kind of sit down and map out income versus expenses and, what works for us. So it's not just he's naturally paying the bills, or if he don't pay the bills, I'm out. No, it's not that. So
Right.
I mean, we've been in situations where I've made more money. I've been in a situation where he's made more money, and now we're at a place where he can take care of all of that, and all I gotta do is worry about my business, the bills that I'm accumulating, on my own.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm a fan of that too. I feel like most of the people that say things like that, like I don't know, even worrying about something being called 50-50 and
Mm-hmm.
saying, nah, if he ain't buying this and paying for all of this, I ain't even gonna talk to him and stuff. And it's like, well,
Mm-hmm.
respectfully, that's why you single. Because it's like,
Respectfully, that's why you single. Yes.
because relationships is it's not about that. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
my thought process is the whole way you can even like get into a nice, good, healthy relationship is you not going and seeing what somebody can offer you, but you should be going out seeing what you can offer somebody.
Yes.
Like when I met, my wife, and we were talking and stuff, I I was thinking of, like I'm learning about her, I'm learning about her life. I'm like, all right, where can I jump in this? So she's a ballet teacher, right?
Okay.
So she teaches at a magnet school, and then she has her own studio that she goes to afterwards.
Okay.
So all of her days, like she's not here right now, like
Mm-hmm.
she's every day she is there all day,
Right.
um for the most part. So I was like, okay. And I remember just my first week talking to her, she was like, oh, Tuesdays suck because I have to, the second I leave school, I got to pick
Go
my
straight
kid
to the
up, I drop
studio.
him off, then I go to the studio, I don't eat anything all day until like 8 o'clock. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
you want me to bring you some
Food.
food?
Right.
Yeah. And she was
Right.
like,
The simple
well,
things.
yeah. She was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm just bringing. She's like, no, you don't have to do that. And I was like, nope, I already left my house. So, what would you like?
Mm-hmm.
And and I went and like brought her food, and that was a big deal to her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I am a man. I knew that was going to be a big deal to her. I'm not gonna lie and be like, oh yeah, I had no idea that. No, I knew what I was doing.
Right.
I'm like, oh yeah, what? Oh, you ain't got. I'm about to get her. But just but I was looking for areas in which I could serve. Like
Mm-hmm.
what can I do to lighten your load? What can I do to help you out? So I think if people go into relationships like that, like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I'm interested in this person. Let me try to do things to make them happy, to make their life
Right.
easier, to, help with whatever
To lighten
thing.
the load. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, if you go in like that, I think stuff works out a lot better than it's like, all right, what's she bringing? Like, what she got? Like, what you
Right.
gonna give me? I got all this stuff, so you better be bringing something. It's like, relax,
Relax, chill.
So, but honestly, um, the way we do our finances is, I don't know, maybe different. It's just I do what makes sense to me, right? All families are different, so I
Mm-hmm.
don't pay all the bills. Well, I make sure all the bills get paid. So I'm pretty financially literate, right? My wife, she's a dancer, right? She's artistic.
Mm-hmm.
That's her. That's her area over there. All the numbers, all the paying bill. She ain't with that. So
Right.
basically, I was like, all right, you ain't got to worry about it. I'm gonna make sure all the stuff is paid. I'm gonna make sure nothing's ever late. But you gonna send this much money to this account, and I'm gonna send this much money to our bills account. I'm gonna set up all
Mm-hmm.
these payments or whatever. Just I even went on her thing, set up an allotment. I was like, you get paid on this day. Boom, allotment goes here, and
Mm-hmm.
all the bills come out of this account. For her, out of sight, out of mind. She just sees that amount leave her bank account, and she just knows everything else in there. She can do whatever else she wants with it.
Right,
So
exactly.
you go get your shrimp pasta. You go whatever. Um, and
Self-care, all of that.
yep. Your hair, nails, hair again for whatever reason. You go ahead. I don't care. It's your money. Um, but honestly, she contributes. She contributes more to that account than I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I make more than her. But the reason is we have that set up to do all the bills. But I spend most of my money, either on the, groceries, food, junk like that. And
Mm-hmm.
outside of that, I do all the like investing for us.
Okay.
So I'm funding the account for her kid. Well, he's our kid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you said the stepson, bonus son. I just call him my son. Uh,
Right, right.
yeah, I call him my son. I treat him like my son. I tell him I love him. We're here. We're
Right,
good.
as y'all should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So nah, man. Honestly, I do. I love that kid. 'Cause I'm helping him with his finances. He actually cut his first yard today because
Oh, nice.
I got tired of him asking me for money, and I was like, you know what'll make you better? You need to go out and find somebody else to give you money besides me and your mom,
Mm-hmm.
because then you'll start to learn the value of a
And
dollar
value it,
more,
yes. Yes.
and now you understand. Oh, if I do this work, or if I have these communication skills to get people to give me work, they'll give me money, and then I can go use the money. I'm like, yes, I need your brain to start working in that way
That way,
sooner.
exactly.
So
Yep.
then when he's an adult, he'll be, off to the races. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, so yeah, most of my money, I got like an account for him that I'm building up. The daughter that we have on the way, I'm funding money to her account. I'm putting
Mm-hmm.
money, in my retirement account, and all that stuff. So it's like I pretty much, I was like, hey, I need you to put a little extra into our bills account because I'm focused on our future. Uh,
Right, right. I like
we
that.
gonna retire real comfortable, and you're gonna be appreciative. You're like, oh, this is what you've been. Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
I'm
Uh,
glad you mentioned that because a lot of times you see that ex-military or retired military or not
mhm,
wealthy or not well off, right? So
right.
I know that's kind of like another piece of the fuel to the fire of why you do what you do. Can you share like some strategies maybe that you'll recommend to military members to manage their income and like when it fluctuates based on
Sure.
deployments and relocations and when they're at home, things of that
For
nature?
sure. So normally for people that are just joining, biggest thing, if you don't listen to nothing else, I'm gonna say is put money into TSP. TSP is Thrift Savings Plan. That's basically the military's 401k.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a traditional and a Roth, just like and then other things, and they'll match up to 5%. So you can start. Honestly, they actually start contributing 1% for you when you join, but they match up to 5%. So any person I talk to, I'm like, hey, go log in to your MyPay right now. Just I don't care what you're talking about. Log in right now. Um, Go to this percentage, change it to 5. You can do more
So
than
they
5.
can match it. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like that's
Free
literally free
money.
money. Like they're literally like, whatever you put, we're gonna double that. Like, why would you?
The hardest part is really getting somebody from that's check to check. And I know
Mhm.
for me, because I do their taxes, right? I do a lot of
Right.
people's taxes. So it's like, hey y'all, change your W-4 if you want your refund to look better, because that matters. If you're not contributing to taxes, don't expect a tax refund. So
Right.
most of the time it depends on like credits and deductions that you qualify for based on your income threshold. But most of the time people feel like I got to get my money up front. So if you are one of those people that feel like I just got to get my money up front, I got to go exempt, I cannot change my W-4, I can't afford to change my W-4, then you have to think about other resources or other things that you can do. Make your money work for you. Like you mentioned, IRAs, TSP plan for military members, max it out. If your job is contributing something, and that's another thing, I see so many people not contributing to 401k plans and not
Right.
contributing to their retirement. What do you think if they're already enhancing the retirement age? What do you think you'll have at 60 and 70 years old? Because the average person doesn't start a real career job until 28, 30. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So coming straight out of college or becoming straight into an adult at 18, no one is hiring you on at a C-suite level job. You don't have
Right.
experience. No one is hiring you paying more than 40K a year. You cannot make you barely can live off 40K a year, but in the IRS eyes, 40K a year puts you in a whole nother tax bracket. Or
Right.
that's considered as a good job back in the day for us, right? But it's still like, man, like I don't even know how I was living off 40K a year. Like I don't even know how I signed it. Like I don't even know. I was happy to negotiate and say I got 40K.
Yep. You killing it, man. You about to go get you the Mustang. You about to go. You here. You
You know, so it's like people are really like trying to figure out what else can I do. It's like I see people buying properties, I see people building these businesses, and I'm getting caught up in the Instagram hype, and they just get stuck, and they feel, you know, it leads to depression, it leads to breakups, it leads to
right.
divorces, it leads to prenups being broken, it leads to all of these things because they're not financially literate, or their mindset about money has not shifted from what they were taught as a child.
No, that's a whole fact. What is it? And honestly, and that's why I'm so serious about trying to talk to people like the second they join the military, like those 18-year-olds, 19, 20, 21. Because it's like, if you guys just can find a way to understand what I'm saying right now, you can just start putting, what is it? I think if you start putting like $60 into an investment, like at 20, and you just let that ride until you get to retirement, you're gonna have more than $1 million in there.
Yep.
Like that, it $60. You just do $60, even when you get all your pay raise, pay bump. Even if you kept doing just $60, you'll end up retiring with $1 million. And it's like, if you can just understand that right now, you can give up $60. I promise you spend
You throw
$60 without
$60.
knowing it.
I spent $60 by myself
Yeah.
Sunday at brunch. That was
Yep.
like my meal. I had
Mm-hmm.
maybe 2 drinks and
That'll
then a
do it.
tip.
That's it.
$60.
That's it.
And people will complain about like paying a service provider $60 or three
Mm-hmm.
figures or four figures or even five figures for something that will be life changing. Like that was life
Right.
changing information. Go on your TSP and change your retirement to 5%. They're going to match it. That's 10% of your income, right? Getting
Mm-hmm.
saved for you. And
Right.
plus $60, you have that amount. It's like we don't know everybody household, right? But it's seems like
Nah, they got it. I don't care.
minimal.
Yep. I don't care. Everybody be like, I don't got it. I'm struggling. I hear you, but you got it. You got $60.
You have to
Don't.
think about this. You got to think about it like this. Do you want to struggle now or do you want to
Mm-hmm.
struggle later?
That's
Because
it.
like I come from corporate. So I always used to say like, man, I'm on the phone with these people and they can't even afford to go to the doctor. They're 65 and 70 years old and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
Medicare and Medicaid is supposed to pay for that. I only get one check per month. I know we all heard it. I only get one check per month. I can't afford to pay $25
Yeah.
copay. And I get it. They can't. They paying groceries. Some of them might
Mm-hmm.
still drive. They might have a car. They might have a house that they still at the last end of
Right.
paying on. Like you think
Mm-hmm.
about it, you buy a house, you get 30-year mortgage. So it's like it's a lot of things that we look at and say, man, they could afford it, but they really can't. Because one,
Right.
they took a job that was underpaying. Again, like I just said, like I was happy to say my last job that I left in 2018, I negotiated. I told them no, I wasn't taking that first offer, and I negotiated, and I got 40,000.
Right.
Looking back, me and my friends always laugh at this and say, how were we even surviving? We were like eating out all the time, always in the club. Just it was how I don't even understand that economy.
Right. No,
It's
no,
crazy.
it was very different. So I mean, honest, when I first joined, you make like, how much was I getting a check? You make like 800 and something. I think I
What?
was
That
getting,
low?
yeah, nah, you get like 800 and something a check. I think, yeah, I think you ended up getting maybe around like 16, 1700 a month.
Mm-hmm. But y'all
But
have good benefits. TRICARE is really good.
oh yeah,
95
no,
and
dry care
5.
is
Like nobody,
fantastic.
no plan is touching TRICARE
And
at all.
that honestly, I think that's something that gets a lot of us is we get used to the extra housing,
The
like,
extra
so
housing,
yes, we
the
get money for
discounts
housing and
everywhere.
that money's not taxed.
Mm-hmm.
So we get used to that. We get money for food, that's not taxed.
Mm-hmm.
Our normal payment is taxed. We got the TRICARE, we got VA house loans, we got,
Mm-hmm.
all these
Other
things.
benefits,
After
yeah.
you're in for a certain amount of years, you just get used to it. You get real numb to it. You
Mm-hmm.
don't realize that our life insurance, like, I have like $500,000 in life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, actually, and they tack on another 100. So really, if I were to die, it cash out like $600,000. I paid, I don't know, like 20, 25
Right.
dollars a
Right.
month for it. So I feel like we get used to that lifestyle, but this isn't forever. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
get out. You're either gonna retire or get out without retiring. And
Mm-hmm.
now you have to go. And now it's like, oh wait, I don't just have life insurance. I got 100, 200 for what? And
Right.
then what? Freak, the TRICARE. What? I have to pay medical man. I gotta pay this. I gotta pay that. You're taxing everything, all of it,
Mm-hmm.
not just half
Mm-hmm.
of it. So I think all those lifestyles, you just got used to it, and then now you get out, all these extra expenses that you were used to living without. Now they creep up on you. Now it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, my money's not going as far as it used to.
Right. Yep.
Now I gotta go get another job, and that, I feel like that happens to a lot of people. So I've been real adamant about making sure that doesn't happen to me. After I plan on retiring from the military, so I'll be collecting a retirement check and hopefully some level of disability check.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with the military retirement
I'm
stuff?
not.
So just to, I guess, paint a picture, when you retire, pretty much wherever you're at, you'll end up getting half of that for the rest of your life. So let's say, I don't know, let's say I was making 6,000. I'll retire. Now for the rest of my life, every month they're going to give me $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have that, but then on a different side, they have disability because most of us in the military get our bodies beat up. Um, a lot of my joints don't work how they should.
Mm-hmm.
And so depending on the level of disability you get, they'll cash you out a separate check. And that check can go up to, 3, 4. So, I mean, I know many of my friends who have retired now,
Mm-hmm.
every month, like they'll just wake up Monday morning in their bed and they'll look at their phone and it'll be like, oh, you just got $7,000, $8,000. And then they
Mm-hmm.
roll over and go back to sleep. And that's their life now.
That's
They're going to
enough.
get
Yeah.
that every single month. Most of them end up going and getting other jobs because just laying in the bed forever is not fun.
Right.
But yes, it is something to look forward to, right? I'm not doing this military thing and employing just for fun. I want whatever benefits are going to come with it because that'll help me
Yeah.
take
You
care of my
gotta reap the
family.
benefits.
I really look forward to being able to spend more time with my daughter. By the time I retire, she'll be like 8 or
Mm-hmm.
9. So it's like, cool, I'll be done. I'll have all the day I want. I'm like, I'm gonna just be outside her classroom, just like looking through the window, and they're gonna be like, yo, why your dad always here? Don't he got a job? And I'm gonna be like, nope.
Nope.
and I'm just, that's what I want,
That's
so that's
yeah,
why
that's your dream.
it
That's
is.
your level of success. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that people typically put a level of success and equate it with money. And I feel
Mm,
like success is more about what you feel that you're able to do. Like
right.
for the earlier parts of my kids' lives, I was working. So
Mm-hmm.
that meant somebody else had to either bring them or pick them up from school. Somebody else
Right.
sometimes had to chime, like I had to literally pull on my village. Hey, can you get her and bring her here? Can you get her and bring her here? Until somewhere around fifth grade, I was
Mm-hmm.
able to, fifth grade for my oldest daughter, like I was able to like really fully be there. And don't get me wrong, I still was able to like show up to PTA meetings, still was that mom that was at everything, but I still had that barrier of 9 to 5. So if
Mm-hmm.
I 8 to 5, I had to be to work at 8 o'clock. She has to be to school at 8 or like right before 8. It was no way for me to get her to school and get me to work. Also, I was getting off later, so it was no way for me to pick her up from school. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so it was easier for me to say, okay, well, my dad can do it, or he's getting off early, he can pick her up,
Right.
or I was either being late to work. It was, it went hand in hand. But around fifth grade, I was able to like fully commit to I'm bringing my kids to school every day. That is success for me. Like we
Right.
can get in a car and not have to rush and not we don't have to yell every morning to get up, get ready, we gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that hustle and bustle. It's all right, y'all get up, y'all old enough, y'all get ready.
Right.
Y'all could take 40, 20, 30, 45 minutes to
Mm-hmm.
get ready if you want to. You know what I'm saying? And then we can easily stop for breakfast. We can cook breakfast, whatever, because I have that freedom and I'm not
Right.
on a tight crunch to get to go and punch the clock, to get to work and go punch the clock. Now, when it's tax season, they already know, look,
Sure. Sure.
mom got to go to the
Uh-huh.
office. We got to wrap this thing up. What we doing? But most of the time I'm there, like, what we need to do. Like my oldest daughter drives to school, picks
Right.
up, helps me out with things, can go to the grocery store, can go help me with clients, call clients back, all of those things. So it's easier for me to like feel like, okay, now the fruits of my labor I can watch and see and not feel like I missed everything in a blink of an eye, because the time goes fast. Like I'm
Right.
still not even believing I have a senior. I can't
Mm-hmm.
believe I have a 17-year-old. I can't believe she's driving. And like all of these different components and steps of life is like, man, like where did the time go? I
Right.
just remember us at the park swinging. I just remember us dressing up for Halloween. I just remember, and now it's like, man, you're the new adult.
Mm-hmm.
So last question. For civilians who generally have more like predictable income, what would you suggest, or how would you suggest that they would structure their budget versus how you would suggest budgeting for military members?
So, well, I guess first off, for military people, I'll normally, just because obviously I'm in the military, so I know, and I even more so, I work finance and I do the finances for the military. So I'm very keen on when they get paid, how much they're getting paid. Like I got
Mm-hmm.
charts that show me even before they tell me. Like I don't need to see it in their bank statements. I'm like, I already know how much you make.
Right.
So it makes it really easy for them. And I know for sure, regardless, all the military people are getting paid on the 1st and the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
I know that they get paid through the system called My Pay. So I have them set up allotments. My big thing is most people just kind of struggle with discipline. Like if they see the money in their account,
Yes, that's
they're gonna
big.
spend that junk.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, all right, first off, go make a new bank account. Just wherever you've been comfort spending your money out of. I don't care about that. I need something else that, yep, some bank that you ain't never heard of. Good, better.
Don't get a debit
Yep.
card. I always tell people,
Hmm.
don't get a debit card to this particular account,
Right.
because now it's gonna make you have to
Yep.
go into the
Oh
bank, and you
yeah.
don't really want to do all
Hmm.
of that.
You got to
Mm-hmm.
put that friction in between. You got to make it harder to
Yes.
do stuff. So it's like, yep, boom, high yield savings. You don't need no card to it, nothing. And we're gonna have an allotment that sends money to it every month. Don't worry about that. We're gonna focus over here. Here's your
Mm-hmm.
spend money. Do this and that. And honestly, I try.
Yeah.
I'm more strict on the military people than I am my civilian clients,
Mm-hmm.
just because just the I know the culture that we're coming from. So it's like you've been through basic, you've been through these different training
Mm-hmm.
arenas. Like there's so many different trainings we have to take every single year.
Mm-hmm.
There's emotional intelligence training, a whole bunch of leadership stuff, a whole bunch of discipline stuff. So I talk to them in a different way than I would, a random person, because
Right.
I don't know what level you're
What
on,
level you
what
on,
what
right.
trainings you've been through. So, let me just put on my kid gloves to the highest level possible, and then as you show me what you're working with, we'll kind of go down that rabbit hole. So I mean, that's probably the biggest difference in the way that I work with military people or civilians. Like I said, I've been told that I'm supposed to find a niche, right, with all this business and financial stuff. So that's why I
I
went
feel
ahead
like
and
that
made it.
that kind of is your niche, like
Right.
literally, because you're there already. Like for
Mhm.
me, I fell into my niche. Like when it came to Texas, I was serving everybody, right?
Right.
But I don't feel like I was talking to everybody. I feel like
Yep.
I already was talking to small business owners who
Mhm.
in turn invited and referred other small business owners. But it kind of niched me down because once we got into the trucking industry, I got more trucking clients because I can talk about this stuff because I'm already here. So I feel like
Mhm.
military is your niche, or like military versus civilians is your niche, really. Even with real estate investments, when we started investing into real estate and getting into the Airbnb and property management space,
Mhm.
we suddenly had an influx of those clients because now we're talking to that audience and what
Right.
they're doing and what they're experiencing and what type of expenses that they have, what type of income they should be having. And I think a lot of times with small businesses, they kind of underprice, or they have so many services and so many offerings that
Right.
nothing is their focal point. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So like
Yeah.
that's
There's a
something that
main offer or something.
yeah, I have to
Mhm.
really like get everybody to hone in on, but they're like, but I have this. Okay, maybe you need to do a bundle, but I have that.
Mhm.
Maybe that needs to be a lead magnet. It's been on your website for a year and you didn't sell any.
Right.
Maybe that needs to go into a bundle, or you may need to just give it away. If you're so gung ho about giving this away, give it away.
Right.
Don't hold it for a price that nobody is paying for it. And
No,
I
that's
think that's a really really good thing to like let entrepreneurs know, because they're like, well, I'm good at printing t-shirts, or I'm good at
Mhm.
art, and I'm good at, but they're not good at pricing.
Yes. I think that's probably majority of entrepreneurs,
us
or
us you can
it's
say us
like, yep,
because
we
we do
know,
it too.
boom, we're good at this. I know I want this to be a business. I want to make money from it.
Mm-hmm.
No idea how to price it, no idea how to sales, how to get people to buy the thing
Yep.
that I want them to give me money for. Just it sounds contradictive, but yeah, I feel like that's probably the biggest struggle for a majority of us. Um, so when you help businesses,
Mm-hmm.
um, so my wife is a ballet teacher. She owns
Mm-hmm.
a dance studio.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever worked with any dance business owners or anything like
I
that?
have.
Oh, tell me
So
about
it's several streams. Okay, so one of my clients, I could say, she has several streams of income, but she also has a lot of outgoing. So I'll say, like, for instance, she has her studio, which is like a 3,500 square foot studio.
that.
She has about 6 dance instructors that work there. They probably have a day job, but of course, dance studios are at night because kids are at school in the daytime.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so she has, of course, expenses will look like payroll. She has her light bill. She has her water bill. She
Hmm.
has like permits that they have to do annually. But she also has multiple streams of income. Her multiple streams of income come from tuition,
Hmm.
recital fees,
Hmm.
ads that go in her booklet that they sell at the banquets or
Hmm.
the recitals. And she
Right.
also sells uniforms and shoes. So
Hmm.
all of that comes into her business. It's not just,
Right.
oh, you pay me tuition and drop your kid off, they could wear whatever they want. No, you have to have this specific
Of
uniform
course.
from us. You can get these shoes from us. Of course, parents alternatively are gonna go look online and probably say these shoes are cheaper here,
Hmm.
but she makes them have to get the shoes from her.
Okay.
Okay, if we
I
don't have
respect
your
that.
size in stock, we're gonna order it today, and your kid will get these shoes in XYZ amount of time. But those are
Hmm.
some of the income streams that she has coming in just from the studio. And her daytime job is an engineer. So she's
Hmm.
making money well off in her career, but she's passionate about dance. And then she
Right.
has a whole bunch of other passionate teachers that work with her as well. So she has like 5 streams coming in from this one stream.
Sure. Yeah, that's because prior to meeting my wife, I've never been concerned about dance, or that's never
Right.
even been a second, third thought in my mind. I never thought
Mm-hmm.
about any recitals, nothing. I ain't think about tutus, but now I'm fully immersed in it
Mm-hmm.
because
Oh, and now you're gonna be a girl dad, so you really
yeah,
gonna be
oh, yep, all of that. You don't
prepared for all
understand,
the recitals.
because my wife's been walking around, pregnant, just my back,
Mm-hmm.
everything hurts. When we had a gender reveal,
Mm-hmm.
when they pushed them little things and the little pink stuff flew out, boy, she took off like Usain Bolt. She was sprinting, she jumping around. I'm like, hey, hold on now, you shaking the baby.
Right.
She was so happy that she's
Yes.
having a daughter, because she has a son,
Mm-hmm.
who she loves, sure,
Mm-hmm.
but her being, a former
A
ballerina,
dance girl,
she's like,
yes.
I need a girl.
Hopefully she likes dance because I
Bro,
I
that's
wasn't the graceful
you,
dance, but I
right.
was a hell of a dance mom. So it's like
Hmm.
my daughter was dancing since she was 2, and then my younger daughter started gymnastics. She's not a dance
Okay,
girl, but she's a cheer girl. So
right.
she did gymnastics early on, and then she got into cheer, but she's also into volleyball. So both of them did sports. But my
Hmm.
oldest daughter primarily did dance, like dance from 2 to 17.
Oh
Only
wow.
time she didn't dance was like pandemic. And it was
Hmm.
like maybe a 2-year break, but she went right back into dance.
Yeah, and that's
So
why I
like, yeah,
said
she
I
can
feel.
do like virtual classes.
Mm,
She can hire a part-time instructor so that she still has that income coming in.
right,
So she doesn't have to close her doors of her studio or feel that mom guilt of leaving her newborn daughter to go and
right,
teach classes, And of course, you're going to get pushback. Anybody's going to get pushback when you're growing and transitioning in your business, but they also know that you have a new baby. They're not
right.
expecting you to come right back. So if you put somebody in there or start interviewing somebody and like trial testing them out while you're in class, like telling them exactly what to do,
Hmm.
yeah, I think she'll be fine. Like at least prepare to take off like 6 to 12 months, but be able to like budget to pay that person to come in and be you, and then also
Right.
report back to you, so that way you can flourish as a new mom, a
Hmm.
newlywed mom, because this is a different journey, right?
Right.
So you want this journey to be completely different from your last journey. You know what I mean? So I think that she can, do that. That'll be helpful for her. Like get somebody to come in part time, let them know, hey, this is a 6 to 12 month deal.
Hmm. Sure.
If once I come back, I might keep you on, it
Hmm.
might fluctuate, but right now I need you full time for the next at least 6 months.
Right.
And then we'll talk at 6 months and see if I can bring it to 12, something like that. I think that'll be good for her. But yeah, uniforms or merchandise, making parents get merchandise, that's also
Hmm.
good. Like my daughter's been to 4 dance schools in her whole career, and so like some of them were just tuition. They could wear black to practice, and some
Hmm.
of them was like, no, you got to have everything for here. And
Right.
parents, when you marching and you walking in parades and you come into recitals, you got to buy gear from here too. So it's way more things that you can implement into your studio, or like even late fee policies. People don't think about
Hmm.
those because, of course, small businesses, people typically don't want to pay you a late fee
Right.
anyway. So now it's like, no, I have to implement this because you taking my business to play with, and this is my business. Again, you
For
said
sure.
she has a building, so that's overhead. She's not just
Hmm.
teaching dance she's not TikTok dancing, she's not
Right.
TikTok teaching. So
Hmm.
like that matters. If y'all want to do virtual classes for a whole year, but you still paying for a building, don't make sense. So getting somebody in there to help will really be beneficial for her.
Right. Yeah, we're definitely gonna try to find something.
Even
And
if it's like an intern, like you don't have to
hmm.
go into paying somebody $20,000 or $30,000. You can
Right.
get an intern that's going to dance professionally, but needs still, like in transition, like maybe in college and may not be dancing for their college, but they've been dancing all their life through high school. They still
Right.
have that passion of
Hmm.
dance. And they just need technique. They just need to be taught how to be a teacher versus how to be a dancer. Because
Right.
everybody that can dance can't teach. So that matters
Exactly.
too. Like, talking to people, having that camaraderie. Because I know for me, my daughters will come home and be like, I don't like this dance teacher. She don't know, like they
Hmm.
know the kids feel the difference, if that makes
Right.
sense. Like this teacher is so passionate about dance. She teaches us technique. She teaches us, how to form, all of those
Mm-hmm.
things. People feel that if they are into dance. And so you also want it to be sharp. You don't want it to be sloppy. And if she's
Mm-hmm.
been dancing and has a studio all this time, she's going to be a stickler for that. So
Right.
like just getting somebody that she can trust and actually be in there to run her business. She can still run the numbers and run a business and collect the tuition or send her clients a link, but have that person in there to run practices. And she can hop on Zoom and say, y'all, hey, this is
Mm-hmm.
Miss Lester here, just letting y'all know I'm still around, just taking care of the baby or whatever the
Right.
case may be. Yeah, that'll still be great.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Well, this was good. Oh, quick. Let's do a quick game. This or that. So you have to choose
Okay.
between this or that. No thinking about it. No saying, well, I like both, kind of. Okay.
I
So
got
the
you.
first question is, would you rather live in the USA or other country?
Forever? I mean, USA?
Like in general.
Probably USA. Yeah. I mean, I live here now, so that's probably easier.
Yeah, it probably is easier, but I think a lot of times, how you have that FOMO, like maybe I do want to move to another
Mm-hmm.
country, or even like the people that live in other countries that always want to be here, when they
Right.
get here and they like, and we told y'all don't come over here. I don't know
Yeah. Yeah. The
why.
grass is greener. Mm-hmm.
um, I know you said you've been in the military for a long time, so if you had a choice, or if you could go back all the way in
Sure.
time, would you have chosen to be a civilian, or would you still choose military?
Probably military still. I feel like
Nice.
yeah, I'm the type of person who I don't I don't regret any of the decisions I make
Hmm.
because I needed all of those. I needed the good ones, I needed the bad ones to be
Right.
who I am right now. So nah, I would have done the same thing. I like the way I turned out. I'm pretty great.
Okay. Credit or
Mhm.
cash?
Cash.
Cash.
Yeah, who doesn't want cash?
I mean, just being a money person, I usually think credit first. Like I'll use credit for things that I already know I have the cash for.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
I
Like, but I think that's like you have to get financially disciplined to get to that point. Because a lot of times
Right.
people feel like credit is free money, but it's not. It's money
Hmm.
that you gotta pay back. It's borrowed money. So I tell people, think about the borrowed money. Like, we see all these gurus saying, oh, just
Hmm.
get this and get that, and you can have
Yep.
a whole nother. No, that's not how that
No.
works. It's borrowed
Hmm.
money. Either way it go, you have to pay it back. What about like if we're doing date night, what would you prefer? Do you prefer like dine in, or would you feel like I need to just pick up the food and go home and we could just chill?
I mean, if it's date night, like if I'm making it a whole big event, probably out. Bless you. But yeah,
Thank
probably
you.
probably going out because I be chilling. Like my wife, she be getting tired of me because all I wear is like basketball shorts and a t-shirt. Y'all are really lucky that I'm wearing this right now. I definitely have on basketball shorts. Because that's just that it's comfort. I wear a uniform. I wear my uniform all day.
All the time,
I
yeah.
don't. Anytime I can, I'm not wearing pants. I don't. No,
Right,
I have to wear pants every single. Nope, I'm good on that. Give
right.
me a tank top, give me some basketball shorts. I'm chilling, but I can clean up when I need to. So
Hmm.
yeah, if we're having a date night, let me go out, let me put on a nice collar shirt. If we're going out somewhere real nice, I throw on a little blazer or something. My
Yeah.
wife get all fluttery and junk. She's like, "Ooh, I forgot you could look like that." I'm like, "Yeah." So that's another bonus is because I don't ever dress like that. It's a big deal
Deal.
when I do.
Hmm.
So yeah. If we're having like a date night, I want to go out, do something, obviously then we'll go back and chill out. But most nights we'll just end up chilling out, watching TV. So that's more of like a regular thing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this was amazing. Can you go ahead and tell everybody how to connect with you if they would like to support Mammoth Money Mindset or follow you?
For sure. So it's Mammoth Money Mindset on everything. I'm trying to build up my YouTube. I think I'm at like 155
Okay.
subscribers now. Yeah, we
Nice.
we getting there. So if y'all want to make that 156, if y'all want to make it 200, go ahead and do that. I
Yeah.
don't care if you don't watch nothing, just go hit the subscribe button. So it's Mammoth Money Mindset on YouTube, Mammoth Money Mindset on Instagram, and I actually just made a TikTok like a week ago. So it's Mammoth Money Mindset on TikTok. And on there, I'm just making, every time I think of something, I'll just go make a short video about how to make a few extra dollars. So,
Okay,
yep,
nice.
I'd follow it if I were you.
I would follow it if I was you too, because I follow him on all platforms, and I will go and subscribe to your YouTube if I haven't already. I think I did when we were at FinCon, but if I didn't, I will tonight. But thank you
Appreciate that.
so much, and thank you to all of our listeners. Make sure y'all go and follow Darius to get these civilian versus military tips, money tips, and change your mindset around money. As always, we want to see you winning and wealthy. And thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to follow us on all platforms, Comma Convos podcast, and of course, myself, your host, Dricka M. Carter, and my website is driccamcarter.com. Y'all have a great night.